Hi, kids. It's almost time to say Merry Christmas. Today, we have a very special day. One, our kids program is this morning during church. That's so exciting. Also, today we're talking about the legend of the candy cane on this fourth week of Advent. Let's take a look at why we're choosing this for today. According to the legend of the candy cane, this candy was first created back in the 18th century. That's in the 1700s. That's a long time ago. At that time, in certain areas of Europe, there was said to be a ban on public displays of Christianity. Christians were oppressed, and no Bibles or crosses could be owned at the time. One man found this oppression distressing and wished he could share the love of Jesus and the joy of Christmas with the rest of the world. When Christmas came around, children didn't get to see nativity scenes or enjoy learning about the truth of Christmas. As a candy maker, this man prayed to find a way that he could offer loyal children a Christmas gift that would allow him to communicate the real story of Christmas. And this is what he made. The shepherd's staff. He chose to make his candy cane in the shape of a shepherd's staff. After all, Jesus is the shepherd to his followers, and the Bible notes that the sheep would hear his voice and follow him. The letter J for Jesus. Not only was the candy cane in the shape of a staff, but when held upside down, it formed a J, which stood for Jesus. He is a rock. The candy maker chose hard candy for the candy cane, which was done to remind children that Jesus was our rock, dependable and strong. By his stripes. Wide red stripes were added to the candy cane, representative of the crucifixion and the blood Jesus shed for our sins. The red represents his shed blood. Through his blood we're given salvation and life. White, purification from sin. There are also white stripes on the candy cane, which represent the holiness and purity of Jesus, who was sinless, and the sweet fragrance of Christ. Peppermint was the flavor that the candy cane maker chose for the candy cane. Peppermint was very similar to hyssop, which was used for sacrifice and purification in the Old Testament, reminding us of the sacrifice that Jesus made for us. It also reminds us of the spices brought by the wise men when they came to visit Jesus. Broken for us, of course. When the candy cane is eaten, it is often broken, which the candy maker meant as a reminder that when Jesus was crucified, his body was broken. And finally, the love of Christ. The candy cane was also made to be given as a gift, representing the love of Jesus when he gave us the gift of salvation. Today, we're doing an experiment with our candy canes. We are using them as a reminder of Jesus, but we're also using them today to learn a little bit, something new about science. The question I'm asking you today is which one of the candy canes will dissolve first? Let me show you what I have here. I have candy canes that are going to go in cold water, warm water, bubbly water, and finally vinegar. Which one do you think will dissolve first? It's a good question. Let's watch and see what happens. I took a picture every 2 minutes to see what would happen to the candy canes. You can see the one in the warm water dissolved fastest. It's gone. And so then I decided to pull the other candy canes out of the water so you could see. The first one I pulled out was the cool water. That was the one I think that dissolved the least. There was the bubbly water. That was LaCroix, and there's a little bit of it left. Actually, maybe the least was the vinegar, which surprised me. I would think that would go first. Are you surprised? The warm water really did do it in. That's kind of like what happens when you put a candy cane in your mouth. It dissolves. Although no one is quite sure if the legend of the candy cane is really true, the beauty of the legend is such a reminder of God's love for us around Christmas. In this legend, it was a way that the candy maker could tell the children the story of Christmas, and still today, we have candy canes as a reminder of the real reason we celebrate Christmas. I wish you all a Merry Christmas, and I pray that you would be able to share the story of God's love with others.